I'm Cari Peters, a recognized thought leader in the Microsoft Dynamics community and a Microsoft MVP for business applications. Welcome to the Get Your New View podcast. Keep listening to learn how we work with frustrated Business Central and NAV users who struggle to use their system and find the answers that they need. We teach them to truly understand how the system can support their business processes to make immediate and lasting improvements. As a result, they get more done in less time, make better business decisions, and even love their system.
Hey, Cari, sorry to bother you.
You're never a bother, Cynthia.
Yeah, you say that now. Okay, so here's the deal. That controversy about the chart of accounts has reared its head again.
Yes, I know exactly what you mean, but you might want to explain for our listeners.
All right, so we have a situation where I had a meeting this morning and I got to kind of talk about how this is a little bit of a controversy in even our organization about how to use the chart of accounts and whether or not it's supposed to be just this straight listing of all of your posting accounts, or whether or not that list page and therefore the chart of accounts can be more powerful than just a listing of all your posting accounts. You know what I mean by that, right?
I do. So you're talking about the type of GL account, whether it's a subtotal, whether it's a header, whether it's an ending total, beginning to all those different types that you can assign on the chart of accounts.
Right. So we have those purists who say a chart of accounts is a chart of accounts. It should only be the general ledger accounts that are used in your posting groups or you're posting to directly, and it shouldn't have anything to do with begin totals, end totals, whatever that's for, what reporting is for.
Financial reporting, right?
Correct. So we had the accounting manager, and so Debbie is basically telling me that she needs a report, and she needs a report that shows net change, balance at date, balance. She wants to see all of the accounts. She wants to be able to, filter just like you can on the chart of accounts.
Or have a total for cash, a total for assets, a total for your net income.
And that checksum thing that you do.
Yes, the net income checksum.
Right. But what, like all of that kind of stuff and all those interim totals. And so could we go into this full blown, financial reporting thing? Well, we already have our balance sheet. We have our income statement. We have our statement of cash, all of that stuff. Everything's working just fine. And, I'm not saying don't do financial reports, but wouldn't it be great? This is what I said to her, to be able to do that right from the chart of accounts page.
And then
yes, but not even just a quick glance, because then if I'm questioning something about a balance on an account, it's so easy to just click on that balance, be able to drill down and see the transactions that make up that balance.
You can do that from a financial report as well, the drill in, but I get what you're saying because it's more steps to go to your financial reports, pick the right one, because that's not always easy. And sometimes too, your financial reports might be wrong if you haven't confirmed them against your chart of accounts. So that chart of accounts really is that source of truth, right?
Correct. But we talk too about like reducing clicks. So if I have it in a financial report, I might have cash, and underneath cash is 6 GL accounts. So I click on cash in the report, then I have to go to each one of those accounts. And then I can't in that screen also see the net change, balance at date, and balance. Now, we might have some people listening to the podcast saying, well, my chart of accounts doesn't have those columns. Well, personalize, and add those columns. That's one of the first things I do when I'm working with someone on the chart of accounts. So, question, with the customers that you've talked to about this, how many like using the chart of accounts as a report, i.e. the begin total, end totals, all that kind of stuff? And how many are purists and say it's just should be the accounts that I post to? Curious.
What I've found as kind of the general consensus is that the users we work with, which typically are primarily finance users looking at that chart of accounts, they like kind of a minimalist approach, but sum totals. So you might, if you dump your chart of accounts to Excel, you might have all these just headers and begin total and end total, all these different things. You don't necessarily need all the headers is what I've found, but the totals can be nice to have. So I think if you're exporting your chart of accounts and you have a whole bunch of stuff you're deleting because you're not finding it useful or that it's adding value, just remove them if they're not posting. So yeah, I guess I'd say that's what I found is some totals can be very, very helpful, especially having that net income check at the bottom, because this is where I like to go throughout the month for us and just see at a quick glance, how are we doing for the month without having to go to financial report, without having to, do anything else. I can just use that filter for balance at date or net change, like you've said, and just look at that net income number. So I'd say I found a minimalist approach, but some totals.
All right, what if I could give you a maximalist approach and a minimalist approach all in one?
That sounds like an oxymoron to me.
All right, I can have my begin totals and my end totals and my headings and my everything. And I can take and filter my page by posting type and select, or by account type and pick posting and save that view. So now I have my minimalist view and I can send that to Excel, or I can do whatever I want. Or I can go back to the unfiltered view and still have all of the stuff that I like to see. And a lot of the clients that I'm working with that are maybe not as, I don't want to say not as sophisticated, that's not fair, but just like want it to be simple.
Yeah.
Right.
Want it to be a chart of accounts for posting.
Right.
Agreed.
But you can have both. So they can have it as a simple report and they can have it as that chart of accounts for posting.
Yep. I would take it just one small step further and say, if you have a saved view, you can also remove those blocked accounts from your saved view so that you don't see an account and be like, oh, I should post to that and use that if it's blocked.
Great point. Well, guess what? If you think you can handle us for more than 5 minutes, we have a lot more to share.
Check out learndynamics.com for some on-demand training courses.
Did your team ever really get good training to understand how to use your business software? Do you think you could use more features of your software if you just knew how? Are you frustrated with inefficiency that never seems to get better? Do you suspect that there just has to be a better way, but you don't know what that is? We believe every company can benefit from increased efficiency and higher utilization of their software, and that it's possible to have fun while learning exactly how to do that. The experts at NewView Strategies work with frustrated Business Central and NAV users who struggle to use their system and find the answers they need. We teach them to truly understand how the system can support their business processes to make immediate and lasting improvements. As a result, they get more done in less time, make better decisions, and even love their system. Please contact us at getyournewview.com to get started.